The Supreme Court upheld a law Friday meant to keep guns out of the hands of domestic abusers. The 8-1 ruling written by Chief Justice Roberts sided with the federal government. The question at the center of the case was whether it is unconstitutional to prevent domestic violence offenders who have current restraining orders against them from owning firearms. CBS News' Natalie Brand has the details.
The Supreme Court has upheld a federal gun law that prohibits people under domestic violence restraining orders from having guns. It's the High Court's first case weighing the Second Amendment since the justices expanded gun rights in 2022. Friday, the court said when an individual has been found to pose a credible threat to the physical safety of another person, that individual may be temporarily disarmed.
What the court is saying is, this is the type of situation where, sure, maybe we did not have domestic violence restraining orders at our nation's founding, but we understood that you could disarm people who are dangerous.
A Texas man, 23-year-old Zaki Rahimi, argued the law violated his Second Amendment rights after he was indicted for possessing a firearm while having a restraining order against him. He was arrested after shooting his gun in public 5 different times.
The case was watched for its potential to affect other gun ownership cases, including Hunter Biden's recent conviction on gun charges.
Hunter Biden was banking on the decision of the Supreme Court here striking down that law, because he was then going to use that to try and strike down the law that he was just convicted in.
Justice Clarence Thomas, who was the author of the 2022 decision expanding gun rights, was the lone dissenter in this 8-1 ruling. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the Supreme Court.
I want to bring in now CBS News legal contributor and Loyola Law School professor Jessica Levinson. So, Jessica, you and I were talking a little bit. It doesn't seem like you're particularly surprised by this decision, but talk to us about the implications of it. What did you read in between those lines?
I read in between the lines the court saying to lower court judges, we laid out a standard 2 years ago that is going to be hard for governments to satisfy if they want to implement gun control measures, but it's not impossible. And here's a situation where the government can satisfy that standard. Again, I think we have to go back all the way to 2008, where the court said the right to bear arms is an individual right. And then 2 years ago to that Bruin case we've been talking about, where the court said, and the way to determine if that individual right is violated is to look at the history and tradition of our country to see if that restriction will be upheld. And today you just have a clarification of that standard and a strong message to lower courts.
And Jessica, you heard in Natalie's package that Hunter Biden's legal team was hoping that there was going to be a different decision that came down from the Supreme Court. I'm wondering, both in terms of his case and others that are currently still open, does it have any implications on those legal challenges in terms of other firearm regulations?
Great question. I absolutely think it does, in the sense that what the court was telling us is that when it comes to other groups, like people who have been considered dangerous, like people who are felons, and potentially like people who are known drug users, that there are reasons why we can say we will restrict your fundamental right to bear arms. So for Hunter Biden, he was really hoping, frankly, I think, for a different decision, where if the court said that Zachary Rahimi could have his gun, somebody subject to a domestic violence restraining order, then it was going to be easier for Hunter Biden to say that federal law that I was charged under, that is not constitutional under the Second Amendment. But the case, as we know, went the other way.
All right, Jessica Levinson, thank you.